Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily here on MLSsoccer.com. Josh Weisenhunt joined here by Andrew Wiebe on a wet and rainy Monday morning up here in New York City, but it's all sunshine, Andrew, for the U.S. men's national team. Let's start there. It was a crazy weekend, and obviously the U.S. getting really a stunning result, 4-3 win over Germany. Jozy Altidore, Clint Dempsey among the standouts. Andrew, heading into Friday's qualifier against Jamaica, what does this result mean for the U.S.?
Well, I think it's definitely a positive. It's a way to build momentum after that loss against Belgium. I think everyone could agree the U.S. simply did not play well in this one. And although while the outlook is sunny, I don't think everything is a positive coming out of this game. Certainly you saw the U.S. kind of reverse their tactics from the other night. They said they wanted to come out and press. They said they wanted to attack. They wanted to be the aggressor at times instead of being pushed back. They did that against the Germans. Remember, that's a B or C team though, so you're not seeing the best that Jogi Löw could offer. Still, Clint Dempsey turned it on in the second half. 2 classy finishes. That's what you expect from him, but I think the biggest positive coming from this game, Jozy Altidore, this is what we've been waiting to see from him. Active, hold-up play is there, and the finishing was as well. He also set up one of Dempsey's goals. You look at the back line, though, still a few niggling worries with them, though. Was it fatigue late in the game, or did Germany just find a way to pick them apart?
Yeah, there certainly were plenty of positive performances for the U.S. yesterday down at RFK. Our very own Greg Lawless was there. He has more reaction from the U.S. men's national team camp.
Thanks, guys. Well, obviously, the U.S. national team very excited about the ultimate result, a 4-3 victory over Germany. But it was more about getting confidence as they head into the Jamaica qualifier at the end of the week. Jurgen Klinsmann, the head coach, talked about how they'll be able to pick it up now that they were able to do this against a very good German team.
Thanks, Greg. And now remember, it's the lead up to Jamaica on Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on beIN Sport. You can catch all the coverage of that one in the lead up on MLSsoccer.com. And of course, Andrew, plenty of interesting storylines in MLS over the weekend. Let's start on Saturday night. Sporting Kansas City, Montreal at Sporting Park. Got a little testy between these two sides in Montreal's win, didn't it?
Yeah, of course. The first time Montreal came to Kansas City this year, we had the water bottle throwing incident with Marco Schalabom. This time, Mauro Biello, after the match, saying, the assistant for the Impact, saying, look, I went to shake Peter Vermees's hand. He wasn't having it. Seems no love lost between these two teams. Certainly they'll be competing for the rest of the season atop the Eastern Conference. For me, the Impact, the best team in MLS right now. 26 points from 12 games. That's tied for the fewest played in the Eastern Conference, and yet they are still on top. They just find a way to get it done. On the other side, Sporting Kansas City have to be very, very disappointed in themselves. They said it after the game. This home record, not acceptable. 3-3-2 at Sporting Park. And both goals were results of just lackadaisical defending. The first, not getting out to cover that corner. And the second, you've got to clear your area. That second ball killed them. They'll certainly look to rebound from this one.
Yeah, certainly. And speaking of disappointments and lackadaisical defending, Andrew, let's move on to yesterday. LA Galaxy making a trip to Gillette Stadium, visiting New England Revolution on NBC Sports Network. I mean, you had to look twice at that scoreline, right? 5-0 for New England at home. Really, they get the goal in the first half, and then the floodgates open in the second. What'd you make of that?
Difficult match for LA. Well, the way it happened is Diego Fagundes was the warm knife. The Galaxy were the butter, and he simply cut right through them. You saw him rack up the assists in this game, gets that late goal as well. He has just been pouring in goals of late. LA with some complaints on the second, saying, look, we thought the referee pointed the other way. Center ref was pointing for the Revs. You've got to be ready to play. You've got to be plugged in. They weren't. They got punished for it. We'll see how they respond. Of course, no Omar Gonzalez or Robbie Keane for them in this one. Still certainly a game that they'll look back on and think, boy, what happened in that one?
Yeah, certainly. Landon Donovan coming out afterwards and saying that, hey, I'm disappointed, but I need to do better as captain in that situation. Speaking of teams that need to do better, of course, DC United, it's now 11 winless, Andrew. They go to Chicago, they fall 2-0. Mike McGee gets his debut goal for the Chicago Fire. What'd you make of that?
Yeah, not a lot happening for DC in this one. They had the possession, but I think that's because Chicago essentially conceded it to them. And Mike McGee sitting on that left shoulder of the defense the entire game. He had 3 chances. The first 2 didn't work out for him. Finally, he gets it done in that third. He is certainly going to upgrade their offense. But in DC, where's the enthusiasm? Where's the fight? Where's the hunger to pull yourself out of what has been just an absolutely dreadful stretch? They say it's got to be better, but we've been hearing that one for a couple months now. What will happen down there? That's certainly a situation to keep an eye on.
Yeah, certainly. And it was an interesting weekend in MLS. Be sure to log on to the site and catch all the goals, all the highlights, all the coverage on MLSsoccer.com. And finally, some more rumblings down in Miami. Andrew, David Beckham was down there again this weekend, making the rounds. He even got the keys to the county. What do we think about this?
Well, I'm sure David Beckham is plenty familiar with Miami, but he got a little bit of a soccer-centric tour in this one. Went and toured 2 stadiums, Sunrise Stadium where the Miami Dolphins play and FIU's football stadium where they play college football, both presumably potential sites for an MLS expansion franchise. We know David Beckham has said he's interested. In fact, in this visit, he said the prospect of MLS in South Florida was quote-unquote exciting. So we'll see what happens with that one. Lots of rumblings about what might happen soon. He certainly seems to be pursuing that expansion franchise. It's just a wait and see at this moment. They're excited about it. He seems excited about it. What will happen in the end, though?
Yes, certainly one to keep an eye on. We will follow all the coverage of that one on MLSsoccer.com. That does it for us here on the Daily today. A couple more things for you before we get out of here. Make sure you vote for AT&T Goal of the Week. We got a brand new set of nominees coming out for you later on this afternoon. It was a quality weekend of goals. And of course, make sure you check out Extra Time Radio. Andrew, Troy Perkins.
Yeah, Troy Perkins on the show, going to talk about that domination of Montreal. I said they're the best in the league. What will he say? We'll see.
Yes, it'll be good. It'll be a good listen. That does it for us here on the Daily. We will talk to you guys tomorrow.